Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Liam Phillips. And the other young man over there in New Zealand, his name is Gabriel Silverthorn. Yay. Welcome to Kiwi Conversations in Consciousness. Woo! Woo!
What's consciousness again?
Hey? What's consciousness again? Yeah, good point. What is the definition of consciousness? We talked about it last week.
Being awake, being aware, and all of the above.
Yeah, that's included in the definition. The definition is consciousness judges nothing and includes everything. And if you bear that in mind today, when we're talking about nature spirits, you're going to be one step ahead of the normal and the mediocre. Yeah. So I'm going to press some people's buttons. I'm going to tell you that straight up because I look at nature spirits in a very, very different way. I'm not here to talk about what they look like or fairy. Sorry?
So they're not fairies in the garden.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it from, pixies and stuff like that. I'm going to talk about it from a conscious point of view. There is a lot of misinformation about entities and especially nature spirits. And I'd like to spend half an hour today talking about that and doing an exercise at some stage to connect with that energy of nature spirits. One of the greatest problems that we have with nature spirits is everybody wants to define them. Definition. Sorry.
What are the definitions?
Yeah. Everybody wants to define them. They want to define how they look. They want to define how they communicate. They want to define they want to define them so that they have a relationship with them. And many people want to do that so that they can feel special because they can talk with nature spirits. Everybody has the capacity to do that. You're not special.
You're just aware.
You're aware. You're energetically aware. That doesn't mean that you're creating consciousness. So I'm talking with people today that would like to create a change on the planet, to contribute to the nature spirits, to enjoy a different way with nature spirits with regards to being conscious. And that's my gig. That's Gabriel and I started this conversation, Kiwi Conversations in Consciousness, because we have some classes coming up in Nelson, New Zealand, a bars class and a foundation class. And so we'd like to gift you this, really talking with nature spirits in a totally different way, something that will contribute to consciousness. So if you want to hold on to the rightness of your point of view about this nature spirit does this and that nature spirit does that, and you're right and I'm wrong, I don't care, go away because this is not for you. If, on the other hand, if you want to be what can I contribute to the nature spirits today? What can they contribute to me? What can I contribute to the planet today? What energy, space, and consciousness can I be that will make a difference today? Then you are on the right call, because those are all questions that are going to open up possibilities with nature spirits. Now, some of you do have amazing capacities with nature spirits. They will literally talk to you. You'll hear them in your head. You'll hear them in your ears. But mainly, many of us have an energetic capacity with talking with them or communicating with them, perhaps.
Would it be like hugging a tree and actually hearing the tree talk to you?
That could be part of it, yeah. But what I'm really getting is, first of all, whatever it is for you, acknowledge it. Yeah? Because if you're trying to hear them and they're actually energetically connecting with you, say through joy, but you're trying to hear them, you're going to miss the joy. And that ain't much fun. Yeah.
No.
So it's a bit like, I don't know how many languages there are on the planet, probably around live ones, probably around 250, 300 live languages. And then you've got all the sub-dialects, yeah? So just look at English. You've got American English. You got Kiwi English, which Gabriel does. You got quasi-English, which I do, which is a mishmash of all sorts of English. English, Aussie English.
Anyway.
Sorry?
You're just a mismatch anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We're all mismatches. And we've got Indian English, which nobody understands. And part of the communing is about lowering your barriers and lowering your barriers of judgment and expectation and definition, so that you can receive the nature spirits in the way that they talk. Okay. Now, the other and let's face it, if you take all of the tools that I'm talking about right now, it's not just nature spirits. You can add it to people. You can add it to animals. You can add it to, we were talking about last week about communing with molecules.
Ouais.
You
Tu vas
can,
le voir ce matin?
oh, hi, Tekla. Somebody is annoying me, so I'm going to mute you all. Right. If you want to ask a question, you can unmute yourself. If you want to ask another question, you can also put it in the chat down at the, if you scroll over your screen, you'll see a chat square come up, and you can then click on that and you can be in on the chat, put a question in there. So we've actually got people from all over the world, and when we do our little experiment, we're going to be talking with nature spirits all over the world, but because I have a fondness for Nelson, we're going to end up creating some energy for the nature spirits specifically in Nelson. I can't hear you, Gabriel, because you're on mute. Yeah, he's unmuting now. So so when we lower our definitions, our expectations, and our projections, and our judgments about what nature spirits are and how they communicate, we automatically open up the floodgates to a whole bunch of energetic communication that we wouldn't be aware of, which would be there, but we would not be aware of. So right now, all of you that are watching this or listening to this, and now and in the future, what if you take this opportunity to lower your barriers? Yeah. What is a barrier? Any judgment is a barrier. So if you have just judged the way that I've looked, that's a barrier to receiving from me now.
But you look amazing.
Even positive judgments can create a barrier. So even if you want to grab me and throw me on the bed and have your wicked way with me right now, if there's a judgment there, then what it is, if we have our wicked way with each other, you won't be able to receive it because your judgment will be in place.
But haven't we already done that?
Huh?
Haven't we already done that?
Oh yeah, we have done that. That's called the access abuse hour. Okay, so both positive and negative judgments. How does that positive judgment work? Well, when you go into a positive judgment, like, oh, this person is perfect for me, what happens is that you can't see where they're going to stick you. Yeah, you can't see all of the other energies that they can be, and that way you cut off your awareness. How many of you have done that? How many of you have been married? Oh, yeah, they're perfect for me. Oh, perfect for me. I'll marry them, and 6 years later, it's like, oh my God.
I got 7.
You got 7.
I got 7. I just put on the paperwork last weekend. The big documents. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, we've got somebody who says, can we please consider the benefit to the earth of inviting in the native spirits of Alaska. We will be doing the entire Earth.
We'll do the entire world.
Yes. Well, this is only for New Zealanders, but no New Zealanders have come on because they don't give a shit. You know, like they don't really care about contributing to the planet because they actually think they're so far away that the rest of the world won't affect them. They literally think that. They think they're on another planet. So if this planet goes to shit, you know, it won't affect them. Well, I'm sorry to say it's not going to be true.
We'll just row our canoe away.
you just put the big oars out the side of Akaroa, and that's the New Zealand, and you'll hopefully row away from all of the devastation. No, it doesn't work because we're all interconnected. Yeah? Oh,
damn it! It's that our issue.
So one of the things with New Zealand is that it is a very vibrant country, and at the same time there is a disease just beneath the soil, because over the years what has happened is the way that it's been farmed and deforested, that the natural fauna and flora, the natural flora has been changed so much that the underlying construction of the earth has actually changed. And so this is why we're seeing the droughts and things in New Zealand, not just in Australia. And so it's really a ticking time bomb. And part of the nature spirits job, quote unquote, or fun on this planet is to move energies around so that the ecosystem of the planet works in this beautiful way where everything contributes to everything. And when men come in, or mankind comes in and starts to destroy the planet, not just with mining and farming and things like that, but with their judgment, and that's the number one toxicity on the planet. Notice how everybody wants to share their pain and suffering with you.
People want to share their joy
rather than sharing their joy. And this is one of the things that nature spirits are very joyful spirits. So if you're a victim, and if you're doing pain and suffering, or if you're doing force, i.e. anger, massive amounts of it, rage, fury, hate, all that sort of shit, what you are, anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret and guilt, doubt and fear, if you go into any of those particular emotions, what you're actually doing is you're destroying the planet. So get out of your point of view, and all of those emotions right now, if you have them in bucket loads, then allow them to just drop and dissipate, so you can receive the nature spirits. And demand that of yourself. Demand that you share your joy, and demand of yourself that you, every time that you meet one of these big bad barriers, which is a judgment, projection, expectation, or a definition, that you're going to let it go. How do you do that? It's just a demand, and once you've demanded it, it's a choice. And then you have the choice to either keep it in place or feed it. There is an old Native American saying about two wolves. There is one wolf which is anger and one wolf which is joy. Which one are you going to feed? The one that you feed is the one that becomes stronger. Yeah? So if you are constantly going into the anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret and guilt, definition, projections, expectations and judgments, that's the one that you feed. That's the one that you create. That's the blockage towards communing with the nature spirits and contributing to nature spirits, or spirits of the earth, as Shannon Nahara likes to call them. So Oh, by the way, Shannon Ahara, a great friend of mine, who is the Talk to the Entities chief person, creator. Incredibly grateful for her. She put together a lot of this information over the many years and has created some really fantastic, amazing classes. And I'm very proud to be a Talk to the Entities facilitator. So that's just my life.
When you're out in nature,
Mm-hmm.
that there's a joy there anyway. I know every time that I go for a trend, for a hike, especially around Nelson, we've got some great walks, great scenery, and it's always joyous.
Mm-hmm.
If I go there in a bit of a bad mood or a grump, as soon as I get out into the trees, that just disappears.
Yeah.
And you're just in awe of the forestry, the plant life, especially if you get out around Kaiteri with the blue water. It's just spectacular. And those barriers automatically drop, and you end up having that joy anyway.
Well, this is the thing. In the face of joy, can you maintain the barrier? No, it's much more difficult. So you work really hard to maintain that barrier. And many of us who go out into nature, many of us would actually like to leave the cities and go back into nature, but it's not pragmatic in this 10 seconds. Because nature doesn't judge you. Have you noticed? You know, like the tree doesn't go, oh my God, you're too skinny, or you're too fat, or your boobs are too big, or your penis is too small. It doesn't care. However, if you cut off your awareness, it will eat you. So you have to be aware out in nature.
There's nothing that will eat us here in New Zealand.
Well, there is, yeah, because there's like those damn midges. Those sandflies, which are about this big in New Zealand. But yeah, so the thing is, the other reason is that because the nature spirits is joyful. So there's this element of joy out there. So if you are one of these people that have ever been out into nature and you feel more happy, well, there's a tool. Yeah. Yeah, not feeling so good? Get out and go for a fucking walk. Oh, sorry. I've promised I wouldn't swear.
Go for a bike ride.
Yeah. So that's swearing right there. Yeah. That little word. I mean, it's just a word, but notice the energy. If you're creating anything in your reality, that's a barrier just went up. And you've just spotted a barrier. So just pull it down again. It's just a word. It doesn't mean anything. No. If it means something to you, then you've attached meaning to it. Yeah, it's your problem and not mine. So have a look at that and just lower it. Be aware of it. So
going out in nature is a great way for nature to be a contribution to you and your joy, your happiness. Yeah. So what's a great way to actually give back to nature the same sort of joy and happiness?
Well, really it's the dropping of the barriers, because you as an infinite being, pain, suffering and glory, or joy, ease and glory. Yeah. So would an infinite being truly choose the pain and suffering? No.
Oh,
no. So what's a good way to invite whatever Gabrielle's question was? I can answer it. I can't remember what it was. Well, what if it's not just about going out into nature, but also inviting the nature spirits into your home? Yeah. This is one of the things with the definition that traps us so much. We've got cities, yeah, and then we've got nature. And so when we start to categorize things and define things, this is a city and this is nature, what happens is we we create literally a barrier or a wall to the nature spirits being in the cities. We were talking about communion with molecules last week, and it's like there's nothing in a city that is not made from nature. Concrete is made from nature. Tarmac is made from nature. Metal is made from nature. Nature. Easy. Yeah. Everything, the timber in your home, believe it or not, came from a tree. Yeah.
Wow, did it?
Yeah.
I thought it came from the timber yard.
Well, you'll be surprised how many people would actually think that, Gabriel. Really, truly. The clothes on your back literally came from nature. Glass came from the kitchen, or even the plastic on it came from the oil deep down in the earth. Okay, so everywhere where you have made a category that creates separation between city and nature, would you now be willing to destroy and uncreate all of that? And we'll use the access statement: good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, no shot, boys and beyond. Now, just check in with yourself. Do you feel lighter after that clearing, or do you feel heavier?
I feel lighter.
You feel lighter. That means the barrier has gone down. That means something has gone that stopped you from receiving before. Now, let's just do it again. Every category you have of this is nature, this is city, that creates separation, would you now be willing to, let's recant, rescind, revoke, reclaim, renounce, announce, destroy, and uncreate that decision, that category?
Yes.
Right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. And one more time. Everywhere where you've created a category of this is nature, this is man-made, can we now, that's creating the separation between you and nature spirits, can we now destroy and uncreate all of that?
Yes.
Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. Oh, notice how I changed that. So all the categories of this is nature, this is man-made, that has created the separation between you and nature spirits, can we now destroy and uncreate all of that? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. Now, one of the things going out into nature, to continue on with that question that Gabriel asked, which is a really good question, is when you go out into nature, what if you ask for permission to come in there? I'm not doing this from a spiritual point of view. It's just sort of like, hi, I'm here and I'd like to come in and have and enjoy nature. Yeah.
Have you got a cup of sugar?
Yeah. Have you got a cup of sugar? It's literally that. Yeah. It's literally like you go around to your next door neighbor, you've just moved in, and you introduce yourself. Yeah. And when we do this, if you just walk into somebody's house next door and you just take a cup of sugar, is the person going to be happy, or are they going to be pissed off at you? If you ask them for a cup of sugar, what are they going to do? They're either going to say no because they're assholes, or they're going to go, yeah, sure. So it's just sort of like saying hello. Yeah? Now, one of the other things, and this is going to piss off a lot of people, yeah, I'm going to warn you right now, especially because I'm going to talk about the Maori culture in New Zealand. It's going to piss a lot of them off. I'm sorry. But a lot of indigenous cultures around the world, because of their points of view, they're actually keeping the nature spirits from being in their full power and potency. Now, I've talked to a lot of passed over indigenous entities, and both here and in Canada, funnily enough, and they have a similar point of view that the white man came, and so they have taken up the battle to defend the nature spirits from the white man's craziness. Now, when you take a point of view like that, what occurs is you create a what?
A barrier.
Yeah, you don't create communion. So particularly in New Zealand, when you go out into nature, if you sense that there is no nature spirits around you, you may well be dealing with indigenous entities. Yeah. So you're going to have a chat with those indigenous entities. Now, I have not been to Alaska, but I'm getting the same sort of thing. Somebody is from Alaska here, and they are wanting to have some contribution there too. I'm getting a similar sort of thing there, that the indigenous entities there are trying to defend the nature spirits from the stupid white man. Yeah, and that doesn't work. So you have to go in there and talk to the indigenous entities that are defending the nature spirits, and tell them what you're about, because they just see you as a pakia. Yeah, that's in New Zealand. That's the name for a stupid white man. Yeah, a gaijin is Japanese for stupid white man. Yeah, so if you're in Japan, then if you're a gaijin, you have to go into nature, and then you don't have to, but you may have to have that conversation with the indigenous entities that are there to defend it, and tell them what you're about. I'm not here to fuck you over. I'm here to contribute to you and to contribute to the nature spirits. If you don't believe me, ask the nature spirits. Yeah.
Liam.
Thank you. One of the things is that you, as a person that connects with nature spirits, you'll have them around you. So when you talk to the indigenous entities that are defending the nature spirits, when you make them aware that the nature spirits are actually around you, sitting on your shoulder and contributing to you, they'll look at you and they go, "Oh my God, this is not someone I have to defend against."
But look, I have one here around my neck.
Yes,
Blue one?
exactly.
Hey.
Cool.
So Liam, I'm not sure you know, but Alaska just had a 7.9 earthquake, and about 270 earthquakes followed in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was asking.
Yeah. Cool. I say great. Awesome. Yeah. Look, we live on a planet.
Well, they had lots of. The children actually started playing in the break in the earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I do. That's interesting.
Hey, have you ever tried surfing when the ground's moving?
No.
Really interesting experience.
Yeah.
I lived through the crisis of earthquakes. Nice.
Now, one of the things for you guys is that, oh my God, we've gone over time. We haven't done the exercise yet. One of the things with you guys is like you gotta know that earthquakes are not a wrongness. It's just the way that the planet moves around. If you are aware, if you're connecting in with nature spirits, you'll know not to be there, or you'll know, oh, now's the time to go surfing because there's going to be a big wave. Yeah. So, like, you will just know. You're not going to get an email. Most probably, you're not going to get an email saying, "Hey, look, we're going to have an earthquake at 10:30 tonight." You're going to get an awareness. How do you get an awareness? You may start feeling sick. Yeah. I know there's a lovely lady in Nelson. Hopefully she's on. No, she's not on. Who has contributed to me so much with nature spirits. And it's just been phenomenal. And when there's an earthquake anywhere around the planet, there's a lot of nausea that comes up in her reality. So you've got to be aware of that. Yeah, it's a way that, because your body is not separate from the planet. I know many of you think it is, And it's not about taking off your rubber-soled shoes, because rubber is also part of the planet. You know, it's about including that. Your body is part of the planet. It's not going to be, if you're willing to lower your barriers and receive the planet, your body is going to give you, it's going to talk to you and give you an awareness of many, many different things. Yeah? So what if cancer was an awareness of something that you're not willing to receive? Headaches, chronic pain, diseases, constant sneezing, feeling sick, all sorts of weird and wacky things. I get a feeling like my bottom lip wants to turn out, or my fingers, the ends of my fingers, I just want to bite my nails or pick at my nails because it feels so, the energy feels so weird. And none of this is a rightness or a wrongness. As long as you go into the question, okay, what is this? Is this mine? Is this somebody else's? Is this something else's? Is this a nature spirit that's trying to connect with me? Now, nature spirits tend to be joyful. So the more and more that you tap into that reality, the more and more joy you can have. Okay.
And the more contribution you get.
Yeah, and contribution is the gifting and receiving simultaneity. So which means that there is no time. So as you give, you shall receive, and so as you shall receive, so you give. Yeah. One of the greatest misnomers on this planet is that giving is far greater than receiving, when actually one of the greatest gifts that you can be at the moment is your willingness to receive, because everybody is giving. Have you noticed that? Everybody is giving you their point of view. If you go to the doctors, are they willing to receive you? No, not many are. They just want to give you their point of view. Yeah? Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just the point of view. Most people want to share their pain and suffering with you. You know, when New Zealanders, you like to go for coffee, yeah? The 3-hour coffee job. And how many New Zealanders do that 3-hour coffee job, and they just sit there and share their, oh, it's really cold today, you know, crappy conversations. Oh, maybe a little judgment on my behalf there.
Just a little. Remind me to take you out for a tea and scone.
A tea and scone. Yeah, I'm not into coffee at the moment. How does it get any better than that? Okay, so we've already started the process of doing the exercise. We're going to do a 5-minute exercise. So for those of you that are not driving or operating heavy machinery.
I'm operating a heavy machinery.
You can close your eyes just for the moment and just expand your awareness right out. Yeah, all of those barriers. Many of you have, interestingly enough, have been willing to receive this without much point of view, which is really great. How does it get any better than that? Even when I did swear. And just expand your awareness out now to the left and the right of you. Yeah. How far can you go with it? Is it just to the walls? Is it, if you're in the car, is it just to the car doors? Or can you go a little bit further? Or can some of you go round the planet? Yeah. What if you could go around the planet and meet up with everybody that's in on this little exercise right now? Now expand your awareness in front and back of you. And again, notice where a barrier comes up. Just go around it. Don't make the barrier important. Barry is not important. I know some of you may be married to Barry, but let's just make him insignificant right now. That's my joke. Okay, let's see if you can meet yourself around the other side of the planet. Now, expand your awareness top and bottom, so the third dimension, yeah? Cool. Now sense your body. Does it feel happier with your expanded awareness? And for most of you, that will be a yes, Bob.
Yes.
Okay.
Very lift.
So right now, I'm going to pull everybody's attention and the energy to Nelson in New Zealand. It's a beautiful place. And let's just connect in with all the nature spirits there, all the earth spirits, all of the nature there. And notice how there's these pockets of judgment, you know, like where people want to hold on to things. No? But don't make any of that significant. Bring more awareness to the space that is there. Infiltrate the space that is there and expand the space. Cool. Now let's ask the spirits of nature there, what is it that they require that if we were able to deliver that energy, they will be able to create a sustainable environment that's going to contribute to the entire planet. Oh, and they're getting excited about that. How do I know? Because my body is getting excited. It is an orgasmic energy that's moving through my body. Yeah, for some of you, it will be like a shimmer or a shiver that goes up the spine. You don't have to define it. It's just like, you know that there's an energy changing. And that is your willingness to contribute the energy and receive the feedback that something is changing. Of course, none of you could do it with disease in your body, but that's another call maybe. Notice how the nature spirits are just so willing to receive. Okay. Now check in with your body. How does it feel?
Light.
Light. That's a really great great definition that's not really defining anything. Some of you will feel it in specific areas of the body. Cool. Now, this has only been a few short minutes, but we have been priming you for the last half an hour. But before you open your eyes, would you be willing and will you make a demand to to keep that space of expanded awareness with you once your eyes have opened, and take that out into the world, take that out into nature, take that out into the man-made nature called city, and be that. And know that being that in the face of judgment is far greater than any judgment that can be projected at you. Wow. Cool. Okay, so now open your eyes. We've got a few things there. I've just got to read those out loud. What would it take to get there for your fun bars and foundation class? Yeah, that would be awesome. You're welcome to come. We do have the foundation class on the 17th, and I think it's the 13th that we Is it the 13th?
13th is the bars class.
Class. It's in Nelson, New Zealand. And we invite everybody from around the world to that. If you've never been to New Zealand, it's an amazing place.
Right, I'll take a walk out onto the deck and then you can have a look.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
So while he's going out on his deck, I'll just read the other one. Thanks, Lou. Fantastic. I sent Gabriel a PM regarding bar swap. Awesome. My heartbeat raised in the exercise. Loads of joy. Thank you. Awesome. Maybe we could add an entity class too. Maybe I will. Oh, can you say something, Gabriel, and then you'll be on?
Ooh, better say something. Right. Well, have a look at this spectacular view.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. Cool. So,
got the water, got some trees, got some nature spirits. You can hear the birds.
So this is what Nelson, New Zealand looks like. It's one of my favourite places on the planet. So yeah, we invite you all to come and play. And thank you. If I'm gonna request something of you. If you've enjoyed this,
don't come next week.
Yeah, just stick it up on Facebook. Tell them that the exercise is at the end, but also tell them that it's really great to listen to the first half an hour, because that will actually prime you with information and awareness to receive the exercise in a way that is much more powerful and potent. So we're going to have another one of these possibly next week.
Of course we're going to have another one next week.
Oh, cool. There we go. And yeah, we'll see you all shortly. So thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, everybody, for coming. You're amazing. And thank you, Nature Spirits, for contributing too.
Thanks so much.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Sayonara.